was up again all night having those contraction things, literally for 4 hours last night. And I decided, I've got the Freya app to time. I was like, I don't want to start obsessing over time because they're not progressing. It's just going to be like the other night. They're going to fade off and I'm going to fall back asleep. But I won't fall back asleep if I'm sat obsessing over timing them. So I'm just going to time them for 10 minutes. That's what I said to myself. So on the app, you don't look at like the results, or I don't. You just press the button when you feel like one of the surges come on, and then when it stops, you press it again. That's all you do. So I was just laid there with my eyes closed, pressed it when it started, pressed it when it stopped, basically. And then after 10 minutes, I looked, and they were exactly 2.5 minutes apart, lasting about 30 to 32 seconds. I'm about to leave, a box just arrived on my doorstep, and Chris is like, what have you ordered now? That's a tiny box, but it's super heavy. What is it? I'm like, I actually don't know. I don't think I've ordered anything. I don't believe I've ordered anything. Definitely not that would come in a small box like that, that's super heavy. So I've just opened it.
Oh yeah.
Can you see?
Yeah, I can see.
How cool is that for the hospital?
No wonder there's no women.
Really needs a wee wee. Guys, I've just opened it and look. Look at this big, massive bag. These are humongous. Right, we're in the car. I'm going to see Nana.
Yeah!
I didn't want to stay in front of Jason Miller because they both accepted they weren't coming today because I was going to Boring Shops. But if I'd have said we're going to see Nana Jane, they would have both been like, we're coming! And the only reason I didn't want to bring them today, I feel really guilty not bringing them because I don't actually, it's not like my Nana Jane just lives around the corner, she lives a good hour away. But the only reason I didn't want to bring them today was because I'm getting close now, I'm full term, and if I don't think anything's going to happen, but if my water was to break, contractions were to start, I don't want to have to be dealing with trying to get Nana home safely, dealing with Jason Miller, lugging prams around, driving back home. I feel more comfortable, just having the older girls.
Right. And also the mango one kind of sounds good as well. Well, get whichever one you want, but which one do you think is nice? Which one I can't imagine brushing my teeth and it tasting like red velvet. I just can't.
Yeah, I can't bother. I feel like rubbish. One thing that you realise when you don't have like a pram or anything, have nothing to lean on, which sounds crazy, but I like leaning on things. Like if I go to the supermarket, I like leaning on a trolley, and then I suddenly realise when I got here I've got nothing to lean on, and it just makes me feel like absolute rubbish. Everyone's downstairs having a bite to eat. I've completely lost my appetite the last few days. Obviously it's because baby girl's like probably pushing on my stomach or something. But Chris keeps saying you're supposed to be eating for 2. It's like a joke. Obviously you don't eat actually for 2 when you're pregnant. But you are supposed to eat a little bit more than you usually would in the last trimester. And I had something in my blood. I can't remember what it was in my blood and my urine tests. A few days ago, what was it? Something was slightly raised, and I was like, "Is that okay?" She's like, "Yeah, it probably just means that it means that your body's burning more energy. Your body's burning fat because you're using more energy than you're intaking." And I said, "Oh, how gorgeous is this blanket? It's the thickest, most cuddliest, beautiful blanket I think I've ever seen, aside from my own, obviously."